for joining me on this Life Lesson Friday episode of the Confidence Through Health podcast. Today's topic deals with what we focus on and how that determines our outcomes. And our focus, if we focus on the wrong things, we're going to go the wrong direction. Even if we're taking the steps towards our goal, but if our focus is not on that, we're going to be distracted. It's going to take longer than we'd like. We're going to miss some of the steps or make mistakes and maybe not notice that until a couple of steps down the road. So what we focus on directs and determines our outcome. And I talk about this a lot with the athletes I deal with and coach, but it's so true in all parts of life. And I tell my athletes, especially the ones that are doing things that in playing sports or active in areas where pain, not necessarily like hurt pain, but just physical pain is a part of the sport. And so long distance runners, football players, sports where pain is going to come up. And what do you do when that pain comes up? And especially with my long distance runners, because in a football game, you could take a break. In a basketball game, soccer game, you can take a break. You can get off the field, substitution, those types of things. If you're running a race, it's just you. And a lot of marathoners talk about the 20-mile mark and what happens when you get to the 20-mile mark and your body starts to say, what are you really doing? You got 6 miles left to go. Your body wants to shut down. Your brain starts to question what the heck you're doing. But when that pain point hits, if you focus on the pain, guess what? You slow down every single time. If you focus on the pain, you slow down. If you're in an activity and it's hot and you focus on the heat, guess what? It slows you down because it takes your mind off of the goal that you have. And and this happens all the time in all areas of life. If you're getting ready to give a speech and you're focused on the nerves that you have, you're focused on the people out there and are they judging you? Are they going to correct you if you make a mistake or say the wrong thing or if something comes out weird or are they going to laugh at the wrong point when they're not supposed to laugh? You're not making a joke, but they laugh because of the way you said it or whatever. If you focus on those things, you're going to make mistakes throughout your speech. Those you're almost going to like make those things happen. You're going to manifest them to happen. If you focus on the pain, you're going to create the pain quicker. You're going to realize that it's there before it really starts to slow you down. And so I'm not saying ignore those things, but we have to be prepared for those to come up. And we have to be able to put in our brain and put in our mind and prepare ourselves for those situations to come up. And so it's not about trying to ignore the pain or avoid the pain. Definitely don't want to do that because it's going to happen. And if we avoid the pain, we're definitely not maximizing our effort. If we're simply trying to avoid embarrassment and all those things, you know what? We probably don't give the speech, right? Because like it's a lot easier to not give the speech or not get up there and not be a part of that. Um, not do the presentation and rely on somebody else to do it. So what we've got to do is prepare ourselves for, hey, when this happens, it may not happen, but when it does happen, if it does happen, when it does happen, what am I going to do? How do I handle it? There's so many other pieces to athletics than just being physically fit or talented. There's so many other pieces to being a good speaker than just can you not say and can you say things that are funny? There's so many more pieces to it, and being prepared for those things helps us manage that and get to the outcome we want to. But it's about focusing on the right things in the moment. And when we focus on the wrong things, And this can be as far as the rest of our lives and the other parts of our lives. If we focus on all the negative things that our spouse does, we're going to think we have a horrible relationship. If that's all we focus on is the negative things that they do or the negative ways that they talk. If all we focus on at work is the negative things that our boss says to us or the mistakes that we make that get pointed out, we don't focus on the positive things that we do or the things that we do right or all the successes we have. We focus on the negative piece, and one of my early coworkers was and still is. I'm not in that business anymore, but was and still is one of the best salespeople I probably have ever met. And he never focused on the people that said no. He never focused on those people. He was like, okay, move on. I'm going to focus on the people that say yes. And he was like, 9 out of 10 people say no. So you hear no a lot when you're in sales. But if you focus on the one, you're going to keep going. If you focus on the 9 people that say no, you're going to give up real quick. Real quick. You're just going to assume everybody's going to say no because 90% say no, but 10% say yes. And all you need is the 10% because at that point, it's a numbers game. If you can focus on the correct thing. When we try to be healthy, if we focus on healthy things and adding those to our lives, healthy ingredients in our meals, right? Healthy things that we do outside of work when we have time. If we focus on those things and add them to our daily routine, we start to see improvement. One of my clients today said, I'm still not eating a perfectly healthy diet, but now that I'm exercising more, I find myself eating healthier just naturally. That was her quote, which is so true. And I've heard that from so many different people that as soon as we start doing something healthy, other pieces of the healthy lifestyle start to get into place and we start to improve our life. And it's because we start to focus on the right things. So we focus on the right things tend to come from an outcome standpoint of the situation. So our focus is huge when it comes to determining our direction of our life. So what are you focused on? If you're not getting the things that you want out of your life, if you're sitting down at the end of the day frustrated, if you're complaining a lot about things in your life, things that you can control. There's things we can't control. You can't control unless you're in a position to do that from like you work for a company that's in charge of these things, but most of us aren't. We can't control the price of things at the grocery store. We can't control the price of things, that we purchase. We can determine if we purchase it or if we don't. We can control that piece. And so control like take control and focus on the things that you can control. The things that you can't control, if you don't spend your time on those because then you're going to be focused on things you can't control, and those things are going to start to steer your life, and they take the control away from you because you can't control them. You can't control what the people on the news put on the news, right? You can't control the things that they say and the stories that they cover. And a lot of us have said we want more positive things out of the news, but they keep showing the negative things, right? And what we can't control is turning the TV off. If those things are taking control of your life, turn the TV off. Stop looking at their social media pages. Stop, be away from it and see how that changes your life because your focus then becomes things that are closer to you, things that you can control, and not things that you can't control. And while you still may have bills to pay, you still may have, you know, other things going on in your life that are stressful. if you can control them, it changes. It changes. And the determining factors in your outcomes of your life change. So what we focus on 100% determines the direction of our life. That is the Life Lesson Friday for this episode. Thanks for joining.